Okay, this is a quick look at flightstoswitzerland.com. And right away, when we get here, we can see that the website's available for sale. That actually looks as if it's in JavaScript because I'm not seeing it when I view the source. But we can see an awful lot of ads. You've got ads here, the contextual advertising that you're running through Contera is pretty well saturated throughout here. Something else I want to show you that if you were to just like type the word cheap into the Google toolbar and then hit highlight, I mean, look at all the times that you're saying cheap throughout your website. This is a pretty monstrous keyword density. It just gives a real spammy feel to the entire site, and I would question how well something like this could ever rank, even if everything were perfect. You've done a lot of things right, though. I mean, this is your header tag. If that's your primary key phrase, it would likely make sense to have that same phrase begin your title tag, but your title tag's incredibly long. You know, if you take a look at it, the search engines can't index that whole thing anyway, so it's going to appear cut off in the search results. You've also got an awful lot of keywords in there, meta keywords. Your meta description should really be capped at 150, perhaps 160 characters if you want to finish a sentence. If you were to look at the pages in the index, you've got 132 pages in the index, but unlike the home page where the description is cut off, you're missing an entire line of opportunity for descriptions on the rest of your pages. So if somebody did come across this particular search result in a search for cheap flights to Switzerland, you've got 2 lines of basically classified advertising here that you're missing an opportunity here. The description, whether you're listed above or below another search result, your description tag is really your one shot at getting someone to click on you. How many times have you seen a cheesy description on a search result and not clicked on it because it's just not compelling? You know, you're not capitalizing the first word. You've got your, that's another thing I noticed here was your, this is really, that's not doing you any good to have that right there. I mean, it might be great if somebody were searching for the single word flights to Switzerland, but throughout your website, referring to your domain name in that way without the spaces, the search engines can't parse out the fact that those are 3 words. Also, really, it looks like the first text you come across when you view the source is this: know about the flights to Switzerland along with the details of discounted air tickets. That's a very awkward sentence. I'm not sure if perhaps English isn't the first language of the site developer here, but if you've got a .com and you want to rank on US Google, you should really have your site grammatically checked. Now, the travel industry, is extremely competitive. I'm sure I don't have to tell you. And if we take a look at the number of inbound links that Google is showing, we're not seeing any external links on Google that are coming from any sites other than your own. And if we look at the external inbound links on Yahoo coming from pages other than your own domain, we are down to a grand total of about 220. Also, they look like they're coming from a lot of similar websites, perhaps owned by the same person, perhaps they're in the same IP block. How authoritative are any of these domains that are linking to you? Typically, Yahoo will show your most important links at the top when you do a backlink search. And a quick look at flights to Denver, US tells me that you're the same guy. So your entire site is built off of your own little link empire, and that can be really dangerous. You have to have some authoritative links coming from other places besides domains that you own. Not to say that you can't possibly do very well with domains you own, building your own little link empire, but you have to be fairly strategic, send them out to different IP address, C-class blocks, and blah, blah, blah. It makes a lot more sense. And these days, it's a lot less work just to do it legitimately. And by that, I mean developing some really good, decent inbound links. Now, one way to develop inbound links is to have some really good content, really good information. And, you know, the more I click through your site, the more I see that you've actually got some... I wouldn't call it great content because, again, even right here on your homepage, then this is one of the site that is your best guide. So the grammar isn't so great, but you've got an awful lot of content pages that, as far as I can tell, the content does seem to be pretty unique. Picking a random page, searching for a snippet, in quotes on Google, comes up with nobody but you. So you look like you've put a lot of work into this content. I don't know if it trickled in over time or if you just splashed it up there all at once, but you've done a pretty decent job. I would be inclined to de-spamify this homepage. In other words, just get rid of all the abusive. I mean, cheap flights is 800 times. Make it look a little bit more legitimate. I understand the purpose of this site is to gain money, perhaps with Google clicks, but you've really got this thing so heavily monetized that it may be hard for anyone to be taking you seriously. Feature some of your content and get some good inbound links. I've gone through these and I'm not seeing any links from any other places, that you might legitimately get some links from. I mean, the average small business is trying to build links. You've got all that content. I'm not saying directories are the be all end all for link building, but you certainly could submit some of that original content to article directories. You could be listed in web directories. I'm just not seeing any inbound links coming from anywhere else. Interestingly, you are ranking on page 2 for a cheap flight to Switzerland. That's probably your big money phrase. And I wonder again if perhaps having a better description tag right here might make you more inclined to get the traffic from those searches that you are appearing for. You've actually using SEO Digger, which is one of my favorite tools at SEOdigger.com, you can actually see you've got 324 different phrases that you are ranking for. They're all fairly long tail, and a lot of them do include the word cheap. But at least as of the middle of February, which is the database they're running on right now, you've got some fairly decent ranking. Even like I said, for something as frequently searched for as cheap flight to Switzerland. Another thing I'm seeing is looking back at your domain where you're hosted. You're on a web host with 141 other websites, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that some of these may be spammy and ones that you want to disassociate yourself with. I don't know if these are all yours or if perhaps they're just sites that happen to be hosted on your same server, but like they told you when you were a kid, you become who you hang out with. The other thing you could do, this domain has a little bit of page rank to flow around. If you cleaned up your menus and made them a lot less spammy, you could probably do some funneling of your own page rank with the no follow attribute. The no follow attribute. This isn't the place to go into it all, but if you do a search for no follow sculpting on Google, you'll read Dave Naylor's information about it. You'll see SEO Moz did a Whiteboard Friday about it, and that's a well titled post. It works pretty darn well. You can funnel. I used to call it PageRank funneling. You can funnel, sculpt, mold, what have you, your important links with the link text you want around your own site, especially when you've got a site the size of yours. Even if you don't have that much page rank to go around with all those pages, if you intelligently use the no follow tag and only follow links that are important key phrases or to primary siloed areas or theme areas of your website, you'll do a lot better than just randomly splattering your link juice everywhere. I hope this helps, and thanks for inquiring. Have an optimal day.